Hey Saber fans, Tony here from Sabers, and today we've got a different type of video for you. If you're new to the channel, I do install, repair, and review these sabers, so please like, comment, and subscribe. I do have a secondary channel called Ronicast, where me and my friend Jeremy talk about more than just Star Wars, all the types of nerdy stuff. We have a few videos up there now, so definitely go check it out. Without further ado, let's get to the video. So if you saw the title of this video, you kind of have an idea of what this is going to be about. And it's not going to be, hateful or anything. I'm just kind of informing the community out there of what's kind of been going on. So I've received, amongst the year I've been installing sabers for my company, I've come across several people that have either their sabers have broke, they've wanted updates, all from the same company, and the saber company is Korbanth. Now, they install their own sabers, and they also sell hilts from 89 Sabers, and they also design their own hilts as well. And they've been so far a very reputable company when it comes to buying sabers and for other customers and all this other jazz. And so it's interesting now that they've been kind of slowing down, I would say, or not producing the same quality product that they have been. And so I'm going to go into why I think that and just to kind of beware about what's going on. I'm hoping that this video, if it goes to them, that they will update their blade styles and update their OS and do what they need to do to make a better product and make sure that it's more user-friendly for you guys. And so, most recently, I've gotten an 89 Saber Skinny Flex, which you see in front of me now, and the customer was very upset. He spent $725 for the saber, blade, fonts, full install, the whole thing, from Korbanth. Got it, and he was extremely upset. The blade style didn't match. Some of the blade styles didn't match. I have the stats all lined up. So I've got one wrong color, 5 missing tracks, 5 wrong tracks out of 26 fonts total. And some of the tracks don't even actually make sense. There's Ghostbusters, Tron, Lord of the Rings, Sauron, the Eye of Sauron, and the fonts that don't really make sense to an Anakin Skywalker saber. And so the customer was very upset about it, and he wanted me to kind of fix it. And, if you've watched my videos and I try to, make the best quality saber and telling the story of that character with all the custom sabers I do, unless the customer, wants otherwise. And so, what I've noticed with this saber especially is that the OS system is an older OS system, and so the styles are not updated, which there could be two reasons for this. Either one, their OS system is not up to date, or B, they're not updating their blade styles themselves. And so they have full blade lockup or blasters that aren't they're randomized, they're not responsive. Same with the lockup and the clashes. There's no drag, there's no melt feature. There's also, with the saber in particular, since it's one button, you can't do any force effects. There's no force effects on the saber whatsoever. Usually you'd use FET263's button system, so you could twist and do force effects and do color changing. With this saber, I don't know what button system they're using, but it does not have any of that. If they are using an older OS system, then they won't have the updated button configs either, and they won't work if you ended up doing it with the old OS either. So that would make sense with the older OS. Again, with some of the tracks, with the wrong tracks, you have like a Transformer blade that has Battle of the Heroes on it, and it doesn't really fit. Or there's one Anakin font in here that doesn't have a track at all, and so it seems very lazy of them to start doing this, and it makes me upset as an installer to have these sabers come in and they're not top-notch quality because these customers have paid a lot of money for them. Now, I kind of reiterate what I do is I install them, but I install them to your customization. So when I get a saber from the customer empty and they say, hey, I want these amount of fonts, I'm like, okay, great, and I do exactly that. And I think it's about the same cost. And so my saber business, they get to choose their fonts and customize it as much as possible, and they know what they're getting into. With Korbanth's website, you don't know what fonts they're getting to. They have some videos out there that kind of go through the fonts, but they're not as in-depth about how to do certain effects like force effects and stuff. With mine, you get to choose entirely. You know what you're going to get ahead of time, and it's a commission base. That's why. I also kind of question why they put random fonts on here. Like the Tron blade doesn't even have smooth swing, and they have several fonts on there that aren't Star Wars specific, and so it creates kind of questions about why they added that in the first place. If they are installing sabers and stuff, I know they probably would want to give the customer a variety, but you probably should update it and so it has either smooth swing or the track, or make sure that they have the quality product that they want for these fun fonts that you added. Again, this has 26 fonts on there, and the last few of them are kind of random. There's a flashlight one that has no hum, no force effects. It's kind of, I think it's supposed to be funny. You click the button and it kind of clicks, and then you have a white blade, a full white blade, and you click it again, and it has a little like click for the flashlight, and then it turns off. Same with the passive battery monitor. I'm not a huge fan of it. It's an older version. When you change the font, it screams at you, battery, and then it has a place amongst the blade, versus now you have the passive battery monitor, which can be added to your last font, which is a lot more convenient than having a whole font dedicated to your battery voltage. Some of the fonts I didn't like that didn't really fit on this saber was Transformers. Ghostbusters, Tron, and then the Eye of Sauron. And there's nothing wrong with these fonts. It's just that on an Anakin Skywalker default, for most Star Wars fans, these fonts aren't going to be something that they appreciate or like as well. Some people might like the variety, but with this saber, it just seemed out of place, and with the older blade styles, it just seemed wrong. And so I've also had scenarios where the saber has been broken, not by the customer, but it came broken. Loose wires. I had a CFX I had to reinstall for a Count Dooku lightsaber. I had a 89 Sabers Jin V2 I had to fix. There's been several scenarios where the install, either the chassis broke or the wires broke from them receiving the saber, not from them causing any trouble or anything like that. Which is, again, not necessarily their fault. That could be packing, that could be shipping, that could be tons of scenarios and variables. But I'm just saying that it kind of sucks that they come to me with those problems instead of going directly to Korbanth. And I've known that they can reach out to Randy, which is Randy Johnson, who is in charge of Korbanth, and he's usually pretty good at responding and giving you guys the best of quality and customer service that they can. But in some cases, they couldn't fix them or chose not to, and it ends up with my hands anyways. So that includes my kind of review on it. Now, if you want to see what I'm talking about, right next up to this is going to be a montage of all the stuff that I went through, the fonts and the tracks and things I had problems with. And so without further ado, here comes the clip. Okay, so first up, this is a lighter blue blade style. The speaker's very loud. This thing fell off. I'm going to have to re-glue that. And then it's not responsive. Not responsive either. Binding block, not responsive. Track. Nothing. Drag. Nope. So yeah, that's the first one. No track. It's missing some files.
Lord Vader.
Spark on. Full blade lockup. Randomly. No quotes again. Blue blasters on a red Emperor font. The track for this is Return of the Jedi. So, which doesn't really fit the Emperor really well, especially this one. It's episode 3. So. No track on this one, which is supposed to be the same as the Dooku one. No track on this one. Transformer blades, so this is a random blue blade. Oh. Full blade lockup. The track. Battle the Heroes on a Transformer font. So, yeah. Not terribly good. Next up. Now the only complaint on this one is that it's white, so you can't see any blasters or effects. So yeah. Ghostbusters. This one's actually pretty good with the track and everything. The one thing I don't like is the ignition or retraction. It's just instantly off, and so yeah.
Jedi, prepare for death.
This one was interesting. It's a cycle blade, but then turns into like a flame-ish type blade. Cycle and then flame. Weird. Also, the track on this, I don't think was correct. No track, no track.
The old man's gonna knock on the sky. Listen to the sound.
Now the Tron blade comes with the track and the cool blade style, but this is the font that's not been updated, so it just has swing, not smooth swing. So, kind of sucks. Cycle blade down, which isn't timed with the retraction at all.
Always a pleasure to meet a Jedi.
Frame blade was pretty good.
The Dark Lord Sauron.
Lord of the Rings font. Again, there's a new blade style by 5263. That's the Eye of Sauron. they just did a solid, like, orange, and lockup is a yellow. So the track was on there. So yeah. Very long.
These aren't the droids you're looking for.
This is their party blade, which was fine. This is their flashlight font I was talking about. Just to click on, click off. It's supposed to be funny. It's kind of pointless, but. So this is your battery. It screams at you, and then you have, this is kind of a whole font on its own instead of having a passive battery that kind of goes with your font. And based on where it's at is how much battery you have, which is okay. But I prefer passive battery monitors. This is an older style of doing that. And then you're back to the first spot.
What have I done?
So I do have a playlist of all the updates that I did for Korbanth and other sabers like DX Sabers, Zia Sabers, and other companies. Definitely go check it out. It's a whole playlist of all the sabers I've updated and changed. Some of them actually show what they looked like beforehand and then how I changed them and updated them, which are kind of cool to see. But this one will have an update video coming out soon, so definitely go check it out. But that kind of concludes all the stuff that I've had problems with Korbanth and run into, as well as customers, because these customers are paying high price dollars for these sabers, and for them not to be happy with them, something has to change. And I just wanted to kind of point that out and put that to the viewer to have you guys decide, and kind of point out these flaws that I've come across multiple times. Me personally, as an installer and a customizer, I personally prefer Sabersmiths, and because it's more personal one-on-one customization, but that could be just biased because I install them myself. But Korbanth's still a good company. I'm not saying that they're bad or that they're doing something horrible. I'm just saying that they were producing a really good product when the OS system was older, and now I feel like they need to update their OS system and do kind of a quality control and make sure that they're doing fonts that people are going to like, and make sure the customer knows how to use it, and make sure they're getting the bang for the buck with force effects, quotes, and all the stuff, including updates for fonts and all that jazz. So I hope this was informative. I hope this kind of gives you an insight about what's going on with Korbanth. Of course, let me know in the comments below your experiences, if it was good or bad. Let me know if you have a saber that, let me know what you think about the extra fonts, because some of them, sometimes people like them, sometimes people don't. Let me know what you think about the button system. I know if quotes, some people don't care about the quotes, some people do. So again, let me know in the comments. Of course, have a wonderful day, and may the force be with you.